Imagine a simple cup of tea, just plain hot water poured over green leaves. It is a very quiet tradition.
Right. It is something thousands of years old, peaceful, calm.
Exactly. Now take that image and completely flip it. Imagine a busy, bright street corner in a modern city today.
Oh, yeah, a completely different vibe.
Right. Young people are walking quickly, talking, laughing, and they are holding these large, clear plastic cups.
And inside those cups, you don't just see hot water, you see ice. You see chunks of fresh fruit.
Yes, you see thick milk, dark syrup, and a massive mountain of fluffy cream right on top.
It is quite a powerful contrast, you know. We are looking at a journey from a silent, ancient mountain tradition to a loud, colorful, and very modern daily habit.
We really are. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are so happy you're spending time with us today.
We truly are. It is always great to have you here.
We have gathered a really fascinating stack of materials today. We are looking at cultural essays, market research reports, and everyday observations from China.
And our mission today is to track the journey of the tea leaf.
Exactly. We are going to explore how a simple beverage evolved into a customized, sweet, social lifeline for millions of young people.
And because this is such a rich, beautiful topic, we are going to take our time today. We want to keep the conversation relaxed, natural, and clear.
So settle in. We are exploring a massive cultural phenomenon. We are talking about the culture of drinking milk tea, or bubble tea, in China.
It is a really amazing story about how a traditional culture completely reinvents itself for modern youth.
So let's just jump right into the sheer scale of this trend. If you walk down a street in any Chinese city today, you are going to see bubble tea shops everywhere.
Everywhere. The sources actually use the word ubiquitous to describe it.
Ubiquitous. That simply means you can find these shops absolutely everywhere you look.
Right. You cannot walk down a busy commercial street without passing 3 or 4 of them.
You will see famous, massive brands like Heytea, Nayuki, and Shegi taking up prime locations on almost every single corner.
The growth is just staggering. But the appeal isn't just about grabbing a drink because you are thirsty.
No, it really isn't. It is about the experience of ordering it.
Exactly. When you walk into one of these brightly lit shops or when you open their app on your phone, you don't just point at a standard picture.
You get to build the drink. It reminds me a lot of building a custom Lego set.
Oh, I love that comparison.
Yeah, you start with a blank foundation and then you construct exactly the experience you want.
That Lego set analogy works perfectly because in a very busy, high-pressure, modern life, young people don't always have control over their schedules.
Right, they are incredibly busy.
They don't have control over their exams or their long work hours, but they have complete 100% control over this single cup of tea.
They really do. You choose the size of your cup, you choose the exact temperature.
So you can pick normal ice, less ice, or no ice at all.
Yes, and you choose the precise level of sweetness. And then, well, you get to the most fun part.
The toppings.
Yes, the toppings. Our sources list some amazing options, and these really change the texture of the drink.
The textures are crucial. It's not just a liquid you swallow, it is something you chew and experience.
Right, so think about the classic choice. You have tapioca pearls.
The original.
Yes, these are small, dark, chewy spheres that sit at the bottom of the cup. They have a very satisfying, starchy texture.
Then you have options that completely change the vibe of the drink. Take coconut jelly, for example.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It is. It is firm, slightly sweet, and incredibly refreshing, especially on a very hot summer day.
You also have aloe vera, which is smooth and cooling.
Yeah.
You have sweet red beans, which add a rich, earthy flavor.
And you have grass jelly, which has a slightly bitter herbal taste that perfectly balances out the sugar.
All of these different pieces go into your custom Lego set of a drink.
But while you can customize almost anything these days, the specific way Chinese consumers are building their drinks reveals a fascinating shift in modern habits.
Yeah, I noticed that in the research. It is a very deliberate balancing act between health and comfort.
There is a real paradox when it comes to sugar.
Right. Because in many Western countries, if you order a sweet coffee or a soda, the default is full sugar. You just get the standard recipe.
But our sources show that very few people in China actually order their bubble tea with full sugar anymore.
It's true. The vast majority of people actively choose half sugar or less sugar on the app.
They are making a conscious decision to make the drink a little bit healthier.
And they're also choosing bases made from real, fresh fruit and high-quality fresh milk.
Right, instead of just using artificial flavor powders.
So I definitely see the health-conscious angle there. But I have to point out a pretty funny contradiction from the notes.
Oh, what is that?
Well, people are choosing less sugar and fresh fruit, but then they are adding a thick, heavy layer of cheese foam to the very top of their cups.
Ah, yes. The cheese foam.
Adding rich cream cheese to your green tea doesn't exactly scream health food.
No, it sounds like a contradiction, I know, but it perfectly captures the modern mindset.
How's
The fresh tea, the real fruit, and the lower sugar make the consumer feel responsible. It shows an awareness of natural ingredients.
Okay, I see.
But they still desperately want a treat. The cheese foam is the engineered indulgence.
But how does that actually work when you drink it? Do you just mix it all together?
Not usually, no. Think about the physical mechanics of the cup. Because the cheese foam is thick and heavy, it sits right on top.
Right.
So when you tilt the cup to take a sip, you get this incredible sensory experience. First, the rich, creamy, slightly salty cheese hits your tongue.
Oh, wow.
And then immediately after, the cold, refreshing, slightly bitter tea cuts right through that heavy fat.
The source material describes it so perfectly. It calls this modern bubble tea a dessert in a cup.
A dessert in a cup. That paints such a vivid picture.
It really does. You feel good about the fresh tea, so you allow yourself the fun of the salty, creamy topping. It is a calculated balance.
Precisely. And because it strikes that perfect balance, and because it is relatively affordable, it becomes a solid daily routine.
Yes. The sources mention that a cup usually costs between 15 and 25 yuan.
Which is significantly cheaper than a fancy cocktail.
And in many places, it is cheaper than a premium cup of coffee. It is affordable enough that it isn't just a rare luxury for a birthday or a holiday.
No, for many young adults, it is an everyday purchase.
Even if drinking a large, creamy, sweet beverage every single afternoon isn't the absolute healthiest choice a person could make.
True. But the cultural attitude described in the text is very pragmatic. The attitude is often simply, life is short.
Life is short, so enjoy your cheese foam.
Exactly. I think anyone with a busy life can relate to that feeling.
Absolutely. But, when someone buys the exact same product every single day, it usually means the product is doing more than just stopping their thirst.
Oh, for sure. It is fulfilling some kind of deeper emotional need.
It absolutely is. Bubble tea in China has become a form of social currency. It acts as the ultimate stress reliever.
There is a popular internet saying mentioned in our notes that highlights this perfectly.
Yes, it goes. Nothing can be solved with 1 cup of bubble tea. If so, drink 2 cups.
I love that quote. It is funny, but it also shows how much they rely on this drink to cope with a bad day.
It reminds me of the sociological concept of a third space.
Yes, the third space is a very helpful way to look at this.
Right, so for anyone unfamiliar, the idea is that you have your first space, which is your home.
And you have your second space, which is your workplace or your school.
Exactly, and then you need a third space. It is a neutral public place where you can just relax.
In the UK, that might be the traditional neighborhood pub.
And in the US, it might be a local coffee shop.
Right. And for these young people, the brightly lit, aesthetic bubble tea shop serves as that crucial third space.
You have to remember the context of their lives. Many young people in modern cities work very long hours.
Students study late into the night for highly competitive exams. They might live in very small, cramped apartments.
So having a clean, welcoming place to go is essential.
Yes. It is a low-pressure environment. The psychological aspect is vital here.
The text actually describes this daily habit as a lifestyle and a small treat for yourself.
Sitting down in one of these shops with a friend, or even just sitting alone with your phone, is an oasis of comfort in the middle of an overwhelming city.
You aren't just buying hydration. You are buying a small, affordable moment of joy. You are buying 15 minutes of peace.
Exactly. It's a structured pause in a very fast-paced world.
But, this makes me wonder about the roots of all this. We know that tea itself has an incredibly deep ancient history in China.
It does, a massive history.
So how did we get from a silent, foggy mountain thousands of years ago to a busy shop selling coconut jelly and cheese foam today?
It is a really fascinating historical journey. Tea was discovered in China thousands of years ago.
Originally, it was used as medicine, right?
Yes, as medicine.
Yeah.
Then it became a tool for meditation and a refined social drink. But for most of that history, the tradition was very minimalist.
People consumed plain, high-quality tea leaves steeped in hot water. The focus was entirely on the subtle, natural flavors of the leaf.
Very pure. No sugar, no milk, no ice.
Exactly. But cultures don't stand still. They move, they adapt, and they change.
The modern concept of adding milk and chewy tapioca pearls, what we call bubble tea, originally comes from Taiwan.
Right. And about 10 years ago, this specific Taiwanese style of bubble tea arrived in mainland China in a big way.
And when it arrived, it mutated and swept through the country with incredible speed.
I have to pause here and look at this from an outsider's perspective. I am trying to picture an ancient tea master from 500 years ago.
Okay, picture them.
When young people today take highly respected mountain teas like famous Chinese jasmine or premium oolong, and they pump them full of milk, ice, and syrup.
Yeah.
Is that destroying a 1,000-year-old tradition?
It is a very common concern when traditions meet modern commerce, but the consensus in our cultural sources is that they are not destroying the tradition at all.
Really?
No, they are actually keeping it alive.
I suppose that makes sense when you look at the ingredients. If these companies were completely ignoring the tea and just mixing artificial fruit powders with sugar water, that would be losing the culture.
Exactly. But by making high-quality, real mountain tea the star of the drink, they are keeping the agricultural root alive.
That is the key distinction. They are using those ancient traditional teas as the foundation.
By adding fresh fruit and modern toppings to a traditional green tea base, Chinese youth are showing respect for their history.
But they aren't treating it like a fragile museum exhibit. They are making it relevant to their actual everyday lives.
It is a living, breathing culture. It adapts to survive.
And this incredible ability to adapt isn't just happening inside China. The evolution of tea is a truly global phenomenon.
Oh, the globalization aspect is so much fun to read about.
It really is. Our sources highlight how bubble tea completely changes its identity depending on where you are in the world.
In China, of course, you have these incredible local flavors that tie into the seasons and local agriculture.
For example, there is a popular flavor called osmanthus.
Osmanthus is a very specific, beautiful ingredient. It is a type of small yellow flower.
Yes, and the text notes that for Chinese consumers, the smell of osmanthus is the exact scent of autumn.
So drinking an osmanthus milk tea triggers a deep seasonal sensory memory.
They also use regional fruits like fresh lychee and pomelo, and the ordering process is deeply tied to the local tech culture.
The tech integration is a massive part of the experience. Most people don't even stand in line to order.
No, they use highly gamified smartphone apps.
You can customize your drink on your phone while you were still on the subway. You collect points, you earn rewards, and your drink is waiting for you the second you walk through the door.
It is hyper convenient. But as you travel, the culture shifts to match the location.
If you go to Taiwan, where the modern trend began, the classic brown sugar milk tea still reigns supreme.
Right. It is deeply respected as the original comforting classic.
And then, the drink travels across the ocean and it mutates again.
Exactly. In the United States, you can find bubble tea shops offering wild combinations like mango sticky rice, bubble tea.
Now, mango sticky rice is originally a famous traditional dessert from Thailand.
So you have a Chinese tea base, a Taiwanese drink format, and a Thai dessert flavor, all being sold to a teenager in California.
It shows that bubble tea has become a global canvas. It is a flexible format that every culture can paint its own local food traditions onto.
Has tea always been a global canvas like this?
Absolutely. Think about the historical journey of the tea leaf. It started in China, but look at how it adapted everywhere it went over the centuries.
That's true. When it reached Britain, they created their own unique culture of afternoon tea, serving it hot with milk alongside small sandwiches and scones.
When it reached Japan, they elevated green tea powder into the beautiful, highly ritualized matcha tea ceremony.
And when it went to India, they mixed it with rich, local spices and milk to create masala chai.
So every culture takes the simple leaf and molds it to fit their own climate, their own tastes, and their own social needs.
Precisely. Bubble tea is just the modern 21st century version of this exact same historical pattern.
In fact, our source material famously calls bubble tea China's gift to the world.
China's gift to the world. It is a big title, but looking at how popular it is globally, it feels accurate.
It really does.
Now, since this is a global gift, and since you, our listener, will probably encounter a bubble tea shop in your own city, we want to give you some practical tools.
Applying what we learn to real life is always the best way to remember it.
So we are going to smoothly weave in some key English phrases from our sources so you can order one yourself with confidence.
Just nice and slow so you can practice.
Imagine you are walking into a bright, friendly bubble tea shop in London or Sydney or Toronto. The menu above the counter is huge.
You step up to the cashier.
A very natural, polite way to start your sentence is simply to say, can I get a fia?
This is relaxed, friendly, and perfectly natural for any cafe setting.
So you might say, can I get a medium jasmine milk tea?
Now, you need to know the price. You can ask, how much is it?
How much is it? Short, clear, and direct.
Now, think back to that health trend we discussed earlier. If you want to control your sugar levels just like they do in China, you can easily customize it.
You just say, less sugar, please.
Less sugar, please? You are building your own Lego set in English.
And if you are not planning to sit in the shop, if you need to take the drink back to your office or your apartment, you simply tell them, to go, please.
To go, please.
But what if you are completely overwhelmed? The menu has 50 different drinks. You have no idea what cheese foam or grass jelly tastes like.
You can look at the staff and ask for their help by saying, what do you recommend?
What do you recommend? This is a great phrase because it invites a local conversation. It lets the staff guide you to their best product.
Finally, if you want to sound just a little bit more formal, maybe you are ordering for a client or a boss instead of, can I get a lei? You can use the phrase, I would like.
I would like a large black tea. It sounds very polite and clear.
I highly encourage you, our listener, to practice these phrases out loud.
Say them in your car or while you are making dinner. The more you say them, the more natural they will feel when you finally step into that shop.
Building confidence with the language is just as important as understanding the culture behind it.
We have covered so much ground today, from the ancient mountains of China to the busy streets of modern global cities.
If we pull all these threads together, we see that a simple plastic cup filled with tea, milk, and tapioca pearls is doing an incredible amount of heavy lifting in modern society.
It really is. It acts as a bridge.
It connects a quiet, ancient tradition with a fast-paced, high-stress modern life.
It gives young people an affordable moment of joy, a tiny daily vacation, while letting them express their individuality through endless customization.
It is a dessert, it is a stress reliever, it is a vital social space, and it is all packed into one cup.
But looking at this huge journey leaves me with one final thought, something for you to mull over long after we sign off today.
Oh, what is on your mind?
Well, we have seen how much tea culture has evolved. It went from plain hot water used as medicine thousands of years ago to elegant British tea times.
To Indian masala chai.
Right. And now to cheese foam-topped bubble tea ordered on a gamified smartphone app. So what will the next evolution of tea look like?
That is the ultimate question. Cultures never stop moving.
Exactly. Think about it. 100 years from now, how will the next generation reinvent tea all over again? What kind of crazy, unimaginable toppings will be in their cups?
We will just have to wait and see.
We want to thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. It has been a true pleasure exploring this warm, fascinating culture with you.
We wish you a wonderful day, and we look forward to uncovering another great topic with you soon.
Until next time, take care of yourself, and maybe go treat yourself to a nice customized cup of tea.